It's a great day in SimWorld, everybody. How are you doing? Good morning. Welcome to SimWorld. Today, I am B-Ron alongside my man, my co-host, Yells. As always, good morning, sir. How you doing?
Top of the morning, man. I feel like we're on. What was it? Good Morning America or something, man. Let's get into it, though, right?
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it. I believe you said before we started here, you got some news you want to break
I've been
for the people?
I've been holding this one back in the tank, man. I got some news this morning. I've got some news. That's why you got to tune in live to
Man.
SimWorld today. We start your mornings off and get you some info, and here you go, straight out of DC, the DMV area, Run DMV. Coach Murray is stepping down from Run DMV, the infamous Coach Myron Murray, and he will be joining the SimWorld TV. You'll be joining the team, so you'll get to hear his
Oh,
takes live here on SimWorld today. Sometimes you'll hear him throughout the Discord, but more importantly, he is stepping away from the team, so there's communication he'll have with those players, those parents, and that organization is already taking place. But for us, great addition here, but a big hole, big shoes to fill out in the DMV area.
most definitely. Myron Murray was one of my favorite coaches in the league. Not only because he coached, Run DMV, and I'm from the DMV area, but he had a way of motivating his kids and getting them to places that you didn't think that they could get to. We
Absolutely.
talk about the Cross, for example, from last season. I'm thinking of two seasons ago, rather, two other players who I can't think of off the top of my
Nick
head, but
Hugo.
and there's Nick Hugo from this past season. He had a way of getting those kids into places where you didn't think they were gonna be, and they're gonna miss that for sure.
Yeah. Big blow for the organization, but a big time pickup for us here at SimWorld TV.
Oh, absolutely, big, huge pickup for us. We're excited to have Myra Murray join us on this side of the line, if you will.
Yeah. Let's get the show started, though, man.
Yeah. Let's do it. So we saw yesterday there's a the first interview came out for Coach Nick Heesh for Gulf Coast Lockdown, and boy, he had a lot to say, and it riled up a lot of people. People got to talking about it, especially when he said, "quote I am winning this season" in the first interview, and he clarified it later on by saying, "Yes, by that I meant winning the championship."
Sheesh, yeah.
So
Talk about a
that's
double
that
down.
is yeah, exactly. I mean, look, good or bad for Gulf Coast Lockdown, adding pressure. I'm I feel look. Here's my thing. I feel like if we're gonna hold the players to a standard of you know not talking too much before you have played a game in SimWorld Prep, the same needs to go for coaches as well.
Yeah.
That's how I feel on it. What about you? What you think about that?
Man, look, I already said Gulf Coast Lockdown was one of my top three, top four teams that I'm
You
looking
did.
for to bounce back
You
next
did.
season, but that comment doesn't make me feel good. That puts the target on your back. Teams are gonna be coming right at him. Coaches are gonna be, and more importantly, these players. We've seen the players of SimWorld Prep have quite the egos, so I think they're gonna be going right at this squad. So I don't feel great about my call out now. I think they definitely have the talent. But Nick Heesh, man, coming out and saying what you're saying, doubling down from Ghost Coast Lockdown, I think that's wild, man. And knowing the ownership group they have out there with Mr. Fontaine and Miss Paris and kind of how they've handled things. I'm not so sure that they've had
Yeah.
a whole lot of interaction with Coach Heesh yet, and let him know how they like to run their ship down there. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But I keep them in my top,
Yeah. Most
3 to 5 for now. But yeah, the target's on the back, man.
and see, here's the thing about that too. We have to keep in mind. You mentioned the egos of some of the players here in World Prep. I think that in some regard, that his comments might actually bring some of those players in.
You think so? You
I,
think so?
yeah, I think it definitely could for those who like to talk a big game. And look, you have a coach who's going to do the same, and if he's going to have the confidence in you to believe in you guys to do it, I think that that's a spot where you could say as a player, like, hey, I like his confidence. I want to join and be a part of that confidence and help to get him there because he believes we can do it.
You know, well, I'll say this. Look, that confidence down there playing in 7th Ward, too. Playing down there in 7th Ward, New Orleans, at the Quarter Sports Center. That bag talk, that's all it's about down there. I can hear the crowd now. I can hear them talking about coaching. Yeah, bro, yeah, we gonna win this, bro. I hear the accent. I hear the drinks. I see, hey, man, I know he's talking it up. But, again, you got to be able to back that up on the court. I think I saw a couple tweets rolling around. Hey, man, he doesn't have a win or a loss out here, and he's talking that strongly. You know what? I do have to agree. Look, I'm getting texts about it right now. But yeah, I think he's put a target on his team's back. But I do always feel this way. Diamonds are built under pressure, so sometimes you turn that spotlight on so you can see if someone is really if they're really that guy or not. So he's definitely come in and put that light on himself and the team.
Absolutely, and to one more time play devil's advocate again. Diamond, like you said, diamonds do form under pressure, but pressure bursts pipes. so we look, we gonna see how that all works out for sure.
We gonna see. You ain't lying.
It'll be a fun story to follow throughout the whole season. That will definitely be bulletin board material everywhere, even for us here on SimWorld TV. We love to talk too. It's what the media does, man.
Yeah.
Good or bad. Anyway, Jay Laster not returning to the Yacht Club as of right now. He's entered the recruiting portal for the second season here. Are the Yacht Club doomed without him?
Doomed? What a strong word.
Doomed.
What a strong word. That has major Thanos vibes. Nah, man. They had a plethora of players last season that I don't think even got the shot to run as much as they should. I like Coach Laster out there, but I don't think he maximized his talent. I think he had some good players and made a run. And did well towards the end of the season, but good Lord, Adam Max is a freaking animal. Where do you see a kid 7 foot 250 that can move like that with the ball? Tamir Johnson, dog.
In high school,
yeah.
Yes. High school.
But we don't even have to get stuck on him. Tamir Johnson is an absolute dog. Trey Willis was punching on everybody. He's essentially Dominic Bianco 2.0, and now he should have the keys. Tyshawn Eason, rarely used. We got to see him in a lot of preseason tournaments and things, and he is an animal. Garrett Hart has nothing but heart, and guess what? He's also got some game. And DeMarco Graham, 6'10", 230, moves like a gazelle and crams on people's faces. I think they're just fine. Jay Laster it seemed at times like Jay, Unk as we call him, it seems as if Unk had struggled to really find his place on Yacht Club at times last season. A talented kid, no doubt, and I think he's going to be, make a major impact wherever he goes, and he's going to be great on the collegiate level. Looking forward to seeing him make his way to the pros. But on Yacht Club, at times where there was a struggle to find identity, he played point guard sometimes. We saw him at the 3. He was kind of all over. So I don't think they're doomed is an incredibly strong word for me, in my opinion. But even furthermore, I think they're going to be just fine. I did have them as like my number 4, number 5 team coming back in the next season.
Look, when I saw this topic come across my desk this morning, I'm like, doomed? I don't think so either. I agree with you. Yeah, no, I think they'll be fine. They'll be just fine. I don't agree with this talk that they'll be that this is a problem. I mean, it's gonna hurt, yeah, but like you said, they have so much talent down there, and I feel like they're gonna make a big splash here in the once the recruiting period opens. I think they're gonna make a big splash and get one of the 2 returning Florida players in Royce Anderson or Kevon Jackson. Maybe both. I'm predicting. I'm not saying it's gonna happen.
That would be crazy.
That's possible to happen. That would be so. If one or both of those players were to decide to go back to Florida and play with the Yacht Club, man, like they have immediately replaced Jay Laster tenfold.
Yeah, I had to agree.
But I think that Jay Laster will be fine in his own right. He's from Virginia, so Beast of the East or Run DMV are possible destinations for him. Maybe even somewhere like Gotham 5. So he's got his options as well. There's so much talent here in SimWorld Prep that if you're gonna find a spot somewhere.
Well, he's definitely going to find a spot, but this club is not doomed. As a matter of fact, the only thing that's probably really going to hurt is that spanking that Yacht Club's probably going to put on whatever squad Jay Laster goes to the first time they visit, because Yacht Club is straight up tough.
Oh yeah, probably. Look, probably they're gonna be watching to see where he goes for sure and see how schedule shakes out. Moving on a bit here, the the OGs, man, boy, are they are they gonna be the top G's heading into the next season? They're losing DJ Wagner. You know,
They lost everybody.
there's a lot of concern. A lot of concern. The number one player in that talk though is obviously Wagner. So they have a lot going into the next season to recover from. And how do you think they go about avoiding becoming irrelevant heading into this season?
2 words: Coach Dodge. Coach Dodge has shown that she can get it done with, and let me not say anyone because I don't want to discredit these kids' talent, but she has maximized ability in Johnny Ballgame Baldwin just a few seasons ago. This season she had more of a stacked deck and she went to work with that. Didn't quite get the championship and had some tough victories, had to work through talent, had to work through personalities. But we found out about a young kid named Kamari Ward. She set him loose. Somehow she brought in a kid from Lithuania, Viktoras Ilgauskas, another one of those giant, absolutely colossal high school age kids at 7 foot 2. What the hell is he eating? But that kid there, but she's got a big task. She's got a big task. Are they the top G's? Are they the top dogs in SimWorld Prep? Hell no. By no means, because they're not bringing anyone back that is a top tier center your offense, defense, whatever around a player. I take that back. Victorious, you can center your defense around him unless you put him in the pick and roll, and it's big time trouble because he got dogged in the pick and roll.
Got exposed.
Totally exposed. But outside of that, she's got a clean slate, and I think that could either be to her advantage or to her detriment for the OGs as far as bringing in the kind of talent that she wants to bring in. So I definitely think there's a tall task. And I definitely think that they are no longer tops in SimWorld Prep. They got some work to do, but they are playing out of Abigail C. Pride compound, and we all know how they are out in Baston, and I think there will be some pride on the line. So whoever comes in there is going to come in and play hard. She's going to get the most out of whatever she can get, but I really think it's going to be up to the recruiting cards, the type of talent that she can bring in during the recruiting period.
Yeah, there's a lot of work there to be done. For sure, again, you're losing Wagner, but you're also losing your Eric Nelson, Kadarius Loftus, the man with the great hair, Jared Quinney. You're losing him as well. Tyrone Snyder as well. So there's a lot of players that they have to replace, and that's the beauty of the game at this level. You're always retooling every single season. Unless you're a team like BCE returning, six players or whatever. But you're always retooling in some shape, form, or fashion. So, but I feel like Coach Dodge is going to be one of those that can figure it out most definitely, entering her, her 3rd season here at SimWorld Prep, and she has experience, she has knowledge, and I believe she'll use it to the best of her ability to get this team ready to go.
Yep.
Speaking of getting ready to go, man, we got some tandems coming into this next season that could be problems for a lot of teams, and I think that one of those tandems, I originally was going to put Loftus and Ilgauskas in there, but I forgot that Loftus is graduating. He's going to college, so that's not a thing now.
He's out of there.
He's out. So my next one is, as I hit my mic, my next one is Jacoby Reyes, Victor Soto from APAC. Who do you think of the returning tandems will be trouble for teams this season in SimWorld Prep?
Well, I want to hear more about that. Tell me about Jacoby and Victor, because I love them. Tell the people about them. Tell them about them, B. Ron.
So, man, these kids are insanely good athletes. Both of them can, attack the rim, and they both can also shoot the 3 ball and hit it with efficiency in a way. I mean, Soto, he made 28 last season, so Jacoby Reyes hit 46 last season. You know, and Jacoby Reyes is leading the returning leading scorer behind Kai Newby, who's 13.8. But like those kids can play. There's so many kids up and down that roster that it was tough for me to pick those two as a tandem.
Yep.
So yeah, that's my whole thought process on that one.
I'm gonna go, and this is more of I think they're gonna be coming out of nowhere. I think they were talked about a little bit last week. It's not a top tandem, but it's the tandem I'm most looking forward to, and I think it's gonna be trouble. KPJ out of Beast of the East, his ball handling, his vision. And him playing alongside the absolute energy of Leonidas Wright. I like saying, I love saying that name, Leonidas.
Yeah.
But
Leonidas.
they went on to win the championship. They went on to win the race to one. Man, that's a tongue twister. And Doc Ock, Isaiah James got a lot of love there. Levin Cutler, animal, right? Absolute animal. Obviously, Fareed Redmond got a lot of shine and shout out for his timely shots, and KPJ had some great play. But there were moments during the race to one that no one was talking about. Leonidas Wright really sparked that offense. He was grabbing offensive boards, running the break. He was just really straight up outworking and out finishing the other team. And I remember each one of those moments, and they were pivotal moments that turned the game or turned the complexion of the game every time he checked in. So all I'm doing is imagining him with big time minutes, or at least quality minutes, not having to play behind a few other players. Maybe he comes back a little taller, a little stronger, maybe a little better IQ than last season. Not that even any of those things were needed, but I'm not sure that we got to see enough of it last season is what my main point is, because he went to work once he got into the game, and it was all rebounds, dunks, and in the point buckets at 6'3". Big time game. I'm looking forward to a big time jump with him and Kasim Porter working in tandem on a pick and roll or in the backcourt, or however Coach Drayton decides to use them.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you two things. One, Coach Drayton's be very happy you mentioned his kids.
Leonidas!
Definitely. And Leonidas, right, has one of the best names. One of the best returning names in my opinion. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. I think that they're going to be deadly as well. Definitely do agree with you there. We got one more thing on our show notes here, and I feel like we got some time to talk about it. So hopefully today, producer, when I'm yelling in my ear, we'll see. Anyway, Showtime. They have to replace Bryce James, because as we heard yesterday, he's not going to be returning to the team. LeBron has pulled him out, and he will not be returning to SimWorld Prep or Showtime this coming season. How do they replace Bryce James?
You don't. If I'm Showtime, I'm pretty sure. I haven't talked to Coach Joyner. That's not a connection I've made out there. I'm well connected and all that, but I haven't really talked with him. I was on my Run DMV news this morning. But I'm pretty sure with the team they had returning, they were either going to be building around or centering their offense either around Bryce, maybe Corey Yams after what we saw late in the season. But I feel like Bryce James was going to be the focal point there. Now he's not. What do you do? I don't know. But I'll say this. There's a whole lot of talent out in Cali. I don't think that he's going to be hurting too bad. I've seen some kids from some of the tape and some of the work that I've done. I think they're going to be in good shape. So what do you do when you lose Bryce James? You go get the next one. Yeah, I said it. I'm a big Bryce James fan, by the way.
Bryce James?
I am. Look. I don't. That's blasphemous.
That's crazy.
That's exaggerative TV talk. I do think Bryce James is a great talent. I've made the joke. I think he'll be the best James in the entire family when it's all said and done. But no. Point being, there's a lot of talent out there in Cali, and I think they'll fill his shoes just fine if it's filled. If it's filled in multitude by multiple people, or if he's able to find another star, because I've seen some talent out there. I think Coach Joyner and Showtime Basketball will be fine.
There definitely is talent there in the California region for sure. There always is, I feel like. But for me, if you're Showtime, you go directly to Corey Yams. And you go to Corey Yams and Nick Moss. You run things through those two. You can get other players, obviously, add them in, but I feel like Corey Yams and Nick Moss are your tandem. We saw Yams have a big offensive game a couple of times the latter half of the season, and that was a sign of like, hey, if Bronny and Bryce aren't here, I can be the guy for this team to take over and be the leader on offense.
No.
So I feel like Corey Yams and Nick Moss could be those two options, second options now that Bryce will not be returning. My personal opinion on that one. But
I'll say this
tough.
real quick. Nick Moss. I gotta say this. Nick Moss has great game. If he ever played under control, he'd be a star. He'd be an absolute star. That's all I had to say.
I mean, yes. And if Coach Joyner can work with him over the course of the offseason to try to get his game more under control, like you said, then yeah, I think he definitely will be a problem for sure. But I also think that Mark Chisholm, while he's not looking at the numbers here, he's more known for his defense, and that's fine. But I feel like he could show something this season.
He just needs a shot.
Just needs a shot, and that's what all these kids are looking for, the shot, man. Speaking of shots, those are any final parting shots before we get out of here, y'all.
Hey, Bryce, I love you, man. He's a major talent. I was just joking out there. Run DMV, y'all looking for a coach? I know a couple guys. Come holler at me. That's it, man.
All right, well, thank you all very much for joining us on SimWorld today. We'll be back here tomorrow, and as always, don't forget, just because we're in the off season, folks, does not mean that you cannot see the game and be the game here at SimWorld Hoops. SimWorld Prep, we'll see you tomorrow morning.